All right, welcome in, everybody. 11 a.m. show today from rainy New York. I was at Yes Network again last night, so I was extremely locked in on that Yankees game. We'll jump right in after I do the standings and watch Devin Williams really bear down. Then there's some Cub stuff, but really today I want the chat. Anybody who's in the chat, let me know things you might want me to look at, what we should look at together. And we can go really any direction today. There's a lot of stuff going on around the game. And we'll just head right over to the main screen so we can get into the standings because there was some changes yesterday. I think a little bit notable in the AL East, if you see right away off the jump. Blue Jays are now only 4 up. They were just 5 up. Yankees have now won 5 in a row after the thrilling, honestly, pretty crazy game versus the Rays last night. Red Sox now lost 3 in a row. So the Yankees and the Red Sox start tonight, 4-game series, huge series, opportunity to kind of bury. If one team were to take control or sweep this 4-gamer, that would really bury the other team. More than likely, they'll end up splitting. These are very evenly matched teams. It's going to be a fun series, a lot of emotions. Yankee Stadium should be a zoo. Tigers now 10 up on the Royals. Royals have played really well. They did lose yesterday to the Rangers, but the Royals have done really well to get themselves back into position. But 10 back, so that division's a wrap. Houston and Seattle are both losers, 4 and 5 in a row, respectively, so that stays the same at 1.5. Mets lose to the Nats last night. Phillies win, so 6.5 there. Cubbies won the last 3 versus the Brewers, so they're only 6 back. So the first time in a long time that the Cubs have a little momentum here, despite all this Kyle Tucker scuttlebutt. You know, fractured bone, hairline fracture, kept playing, tanked. Everybody thinks he stinks. I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me. Dodgers, 1 game up on the Padres, who are playing good ball, so that's still really, really tight. Dodgers got kind of bum rushed by the Rock Show yesterday. I believe they lost that series. Never know when you go into Coors what's going to happen. And in the wild card, 2.5 back now. Kansas City is the closest team to the Mariners. Don't sleep on the Royals. They're feisty. Don't think they have a great team, but they're a little feisty. In the National League, both teams lost yesterday, Mets and Reds, so that stayed at a 1-game. At a 1-gamer. Cardinals way a little bit further back, 5 games back. All right, so that's it for that. And yeah, so the first topic today, I want to break down. I want to really look at this Devin Williams 9th inning. Which it didn't look like he was going to pitch. Bednar was in the game. Yankees were in control the whole way. There was a damn near a perfect game going on here. Schlittler, my Northeastern Husky, was perfect through 6. Ran into a little trouble in the 7th. There was some huge nail-biting at-bats in the 7th. Schlittler didn't give in. He made some big pitches. Weaver came in, did his job. He pitched well in the 8th, got nicked for 1 run, so Bednar went out there with a 2-run lead in the 9th, end up letting the Rays tie it. They go to the extras. Yankees go way ahead. So 3-run lead. Devin Williams comes in. And, you know, it was funny in the studio last night we were watching. We were wondering who was going to come in this game. Like, who was Booney going to turn to? Doval, you know, Hill, Williams. Like, it was hard to say, but he ends up going with Dev. And it didn't start off great, so he was really forced to bear down here. But I want to talk a little bit about the 2 modes of pitching. And the first mode of pitching is make them earn everything. So this is basically a strategy of just, you know, pouring every pitch into the zone, making them earn it with the bats. And that's what you do in this situation, right? You have a 3-run lead. You have the ghost runner or the whatever designated runner on second base. That run can't beat you. But a base runner in this situation does put you in a tying run at the plate situation, right? So ultimately, Devin just decides to go right at Bob Seymour here, who I recently found out is like the first Bob in the big leagues in like 10 years or something. I think Bob Howery was the last Bob, which I found fascinating. A lot of Bobbies, Roberts, a couple Williams, Willies, but no Bobs. So anyway, there's a knock up the middle. So now he does get to the tying run at the plate situation. He's still at the bottom of the order, so he continues to attack, which I think is the right move. But kind of leaves this changeup down in, which is where he's been making the mistakes with his airbender. And it's burned here for a double, and that sets up a 2nd and 3rd. No out situation. Top of the order coming up. And this is where it gets interesting. you've got Chandler Simpson coming up to plate. Chandler Simpson, one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league. Let's check that really quick because we can. This is yesterday's stuff here. Hold on. Yeah, Chandler Simpson, K percentage, 97th percentile. Like, he just doesn't strike out. So this was a very precarious at-bat to have to deal with the infield in. I actually highlighted why Chandler Simpson is so useful in a situation like this, because he's going to put the ball in play. I do think one thing that's nice here is you don't have to play the infield in, because the run on second is the one that really matters. So they're able to play back either way. But let's watch the at-bat and what Devin ends up thinking. And in this spot, you're kind of where you're looking for strikeouts. So you really don't want anything put in play. But if it is put in play, you need an out. And you know Simpson's going to hit it on the ground. So they did go infield back. Yeah, well, they actually have the third baseman pulled in case of a bunt. So third baseman is in here, Ryan McMahon, pulled in just in case there's a bunt. But everybody else is back. Volpe back. Jazz back. I don't know who that is at first, but he's back. So that way a ground ball is no problem. All right, let's go through the pitches because this was an interesting one. All right, first pitch, four seam up. I think that's a good first pitch. Go ahead, right at him, get ahead, and then from there you can kind of dictate a little bit. Fastball up again, so a repeat. Goes for the triple up, gets another foul. So three fastballs at the top rail, 3 foul balls. Now he's going to try his first changeup. And I thought this was a really good pitch because, again, now you're ahead 0-2. You're really looking for a strikeout. You cannot afford to leave anything in the zone here. And you have count leverage. Like, a ball here doesn't hurt you at all. Also, though, this is such a nasty pitch. Negative 6.4 in the vert, which is, like, unheard of. And you can just see visually. Look at this ball drop. Anyway, really good take by Simpson. And it's important to note that all 3 fastballs in this at-bat were at the top, right? All 3 of them were somewhere up here. So when this ball comes out, it's kind of like medium height, I would say, when you start to track where it really is. And he almost flinches for it. Like, he's in protect mode. He starts to fire, but then he realizes this ball's breaking down, you know, just crazy. So he's able to spit on it with a little bit of a check swing. All right, so next pitch, Devin says, I don't think you can spit on it twice. And he throws an even nastier airbender here. And for my money, this is one of the nastiest changeups I've ever seen. I have no idea, in this case, how he didn't swing, except I do kind of know. And it's all because of the tunnels that were set. So once again, this ball comes out, and it's about medium height. And this time actually an easier take by Simpson. He kind of seen it once. He's not going to get fooled by it again. He says, okay, if the ball doesn't pop at the very top rail, it's a changeup and it's falling off the table enough where anything down is going to be a ball. I'm going to leave anything down for a ball here. I mean, this is crazy. Negative 9.7. I mean, that's insane. Anyway, this is so gross. Let's watch it again, but also pretty easy take. But the fact that it was a casual take lets me know as a pitcher that we're once again in this situation. This is a north-south situation that happens all the time, where the hitter is basically saying anything that comes out below this line, I'm assuming is a changeup, and I'm going to let it go because I know I can't hit it, and I don't want to swing at a pitch, you know, down here in the dirt. So what does Devin do? Does he repeat the four-seam fastball up? Because that's the traditional spot for the swing through? Well, I think in this situation it's going to be really hard to get the swing through. And I just think that, oh, hi. So if you go up here, the odds are he's going to foul it away. Again, one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league, puts the ball, gets contact. So instead what you do is you shoot for a fastball down, kind of understanding that he's letting anything low go, and you see if you can't freeze him at the bottom. And this is where a freeze is so important because Simpson's not going to swing and miss here more than likely, and you need a strikeout. So the way that this at-bat developed, you're able to notice a weakness in Simpson's approach. If you're able to take this changeup down, you're very likely to take the fastball down, and that's exactly what Devin does here. And watch the freeze. Boom. No swing. That is a very smart play by the Yankees, and honestly, a really good target by Wells. If Wells wanted the ball up, they meant to do this. If Wells wanted the target up, he would have set up higher. He would have been up here somewhere, right? But this is reading the situation, understanding who you're facing, and taking a little bit of a risk to go for the fastball down freeze. But again, if you can take those two changeups, which are vomit-inducing, that's how gross they are, then you're also going to have to take this fastball. Devin realizes it, and he sticks it right in this mitt. Bam. And that's called a frozen pizza. So that's how he gets the first strikeout. And that was huge. Get that first out. Now you start thinking, I get 2 outs in a row here. It doesn't matter what type they're at, what type of outs they are, fly outs, ground outs. We win the game. But I can't allow a hit. So in this situation, you want to attack, but you also don't want to risk a hit. You still have the open base. So Yandy Diaz now comes up. This is another tough matchup for Devin in a way, because Yandy Diaz is very good at shooting the fastball the other way, which then will allow his body enough timing to possibly clip an airbender or changeup that's in the wrong location. Like if Devin misses with changeup in here, Yandy's probably going to be able to hit it because he's looking to spray a fastball that's over here to the opposite field. So again, the approach of fastball to the opposite field still allows you to maintain enough balance to hit the off-speed pitch. So I was a little worried in this at-bat, but once again, Devin did a great job of reading it. Actually, a better job than I did. As I was watching it, I was calling for some pitches. Devin called this game himself, and he ends up winning this battle, so let's watch.
In April, when he joined the team, had doubled in the 9th inning.
Four-seam up in, looks like a take all the way. I don't mind that. If a guy's going to ambush, maybe you go in there a little bit and see if you can't make him a little uncomfortable. First pitch. Now he's going to go to the bread and butter, the changeup. Perfect one. This one was headed towards that up and away corner. And head back to the plate, but look at it, bottom. And, you know, Yandy wants to shoot outside pitches the other way, so he goes to get it, and then his weight's way gone, and he's way out in front. I also think there's a little bit of Yandy knew he wasn't going to hit this ball, so he had to make sure he didn't hit it. He kind of slow motions his swing so he can get to see another pitch. Yeah, that's just so gross. And this is why it's so weird that Williams is having such a tough year. He's consistently throwing like -7s, -6s, -8s. Those are off the scale. Off the scale. All right, so 1-1 count. Gonna come back with another airbender and another amazing one. He had such a good break on his changeup / airbender / screwball in this game. This ball's middle until it's not. And again, it's a very fine line. Devin throws a ball in here. It's probably getting whacked. Gets it below here. Gets the swing over. So now he's at 1-2. All right, again, you're ahead in the count. You need a strikeout. You probably have 1 chase pitch to play with, maybe 2. And if you're like me, you probably go for 3 because you don't care if you walk him and you don't want to give in and you just think there's no way he's not going to chase one of these pitches. So let's see what he does. There was back-to-back changeups, back-to-back swing and misses to get to the 1-2 count. I was calling for another changeup down. Instead, he goes fastball. Not a good pitch, gets away with it. But I think he read, Yandy might be slowed down with the changeup here. So he threw this pitch with a lot of conviction, and ultimately that's probably why he gets away with it. But this was a little bit of a dangerous pitch. But this is the benefit of having, a pitch that grabs the hitter's attention. The changeup, it grabbed his attention, and it hurt Yandy's ability to cover that fastball. All right, back to the changeup. This one he pulled a little bit, allowing for a pretty easy take. As you can see, right out of the hand, this ball heads pretty far left, so Yandy's able to take it. We go to 2-2.
Here, if needed.
Fastball up, pull. So now he's pulled back-to-back pitches, and in this at-bat, he's gotten misses on 2 changeups. So in my mind, I was thinking throw another chase changeup after this. So now with that, it's 3-2. What I was thinking was to throw a chase changeup again below the zone. If you walk him, you walk him. But good chance you get the swing and miss. If you get it down there, that's what's looked good in this at-bat. But Devin had a better read on this, and I think, in big moments like this, it does oftentimes come down to you just staring into this guy's soul and trying to figure out what he's looking for. So anyway, Devin goes ahead and reaches back for his best heater of the night. Gets it up just enough and blows Yandy away with the fastball. So really good choice, really good conviction, good execution, getting it high enough. First pitch kind of up in the zone. Beats him. So that's strikeout number 2. Now we got strikeout number 3 coming up, and this is the one that seals the deal. So a lot of times you get in this situation, in a big moment where you get to the final batter, like You've already done yeoman's work. You've punched out 2 guys with guys in scoring position. You know you just need 1 more out. And a lot of times this is where you get so close and you don't get it done. But he does get it done here. And I felt really good for him because this had to feel nice. But here's Brandon Lau and the at-bat versus Brandon Lau. I was surprised he goes first pitch heater here, but he did. Good job, though, getting it up enough so that he's a little late on it. And I do think a big key, the last 2 pitches he threw had a little better lift on them, 16-ish vert on them. Also the speed. You know, obviously radar's not everything, but 94.2 is a solid fastball this year from Devin. He's been operating in the 93-ish range, so this ball had a little more pop on it. Able to get ahead with the fastball. And then once he got ahead with the fastball, now you got to make Lau chase. So here comes the first changeup. Just perfection. It's actually amazing that this ball can come out like sort of in the top half of the zone and still get below the zone. He has the unique ability to tunnel a middle up fastball with a changeup down because he has that much break. So that's gross. Now you're at 0-2, and you get to another question here where it's like, do I throw it again? You know, what do I throw here? Do I keep trying to make him chase? A lot of decisions. So he does go changeup and throws basically a perfect one again, and this time it was an easy take. So this brings us up to another decision point here. Obviously, in the previous at-bat versus Simpson, this type of take kind of keyed into Devin and Austin Wells to throw the low fastball. But that was more on a 2-2 count. And in here, you're on a 1-2 count, so I think you still take your shot for take your shot to get the batter to swing at another bad pitch. So that's what they end up doing. He says, I don't believe you. I don't think you can lay off it twice. And he unleashes this changeup.
1-2.
And puts the game to bed. And this one's friggin' nasty, too. Negative 8.5. Big time pitching. Showed some major cojones right there. And, I mean, this pitch just... How do you do it? So nasty. And that's a big time job. He wasn't rattled. He didn't flinch. He got in trouble. We all know the narratives around Devin Williams this year. But he didn't flinch. He got the job done. He stayed locked in all the way to the last out. And you know that felt good. So I wanted to show that a little bit. Just kind of the thought process and how he was able to wiggle out of that with 3 strikeouts. Even though he only has 2 pitches, he played them really well off each other, and he did a lot of reading of the situation and staring into souls, which a lot of times is what it takes, in the big moments. Like, they know what you got, they're locked in, you know what they can do, you're locked in, and you're trying to make some really educated guesses on what's going on. All right, so let's get in the chat here for a sec, because that was the whole point of today. Yeah, 15 years since the last Bob. That's just weird. I guess a lot of kids these days don't want to go by Bob. I don't know. I think of Bob as like the minion, I guess. It's definitely the nastiest changeup in the league. It's no question. That's why it's just bizarre he's getting hit. I'd love to see him get back to adding a 3rd pitch so he can get ahead in a variety of different ways and not overexpose it, I guess. But when he has a changeup like that, it's got to be tough. All right, comparing Schoolboy to Williams' changeup, does the movement profile of Williams get less swing and miss because it moves too much and fools hitters into not swinging? I think there's a little bit of that. I think, again, it's also the 2-pitch dynamic. Schoolboy's got more than 2 weapons. Schoolboy's fastball has natural cut to it, so when both pitch and he cuts his changeup. Now it's a little bit of nuance here because he throws what is known as a seam shift changeup. Schoolboy does. So the sinker is released this way. So is the changeup. When Williams pitches, it's the fastball's here, but the changeup, he turns it in like this. So it's a very different wrist action. And because of that, they're a little harder to kind of hide the movement in between the 2 pitches. Like, the difference will be pretty apparent pretty fast. Despite the excellent movement, the hitter will be able to see it pretty well, I think, relatively quickly. Whereas Schoolboy, that ball's the 2 pitches are gonna share a tunnel for a minute before the seam shift catches the changeup and tugs it arm side, whereas his fastball just continues boring in. So it's like the ball kind of comes and then there's this extreme deviation. It happens a lot later, and that's why I think he gets so much more chase. And then the other obvious reason is just the velocity. Like, you have less reaction time to swing at 97, 98, 99 that Schoolboy's bringing, and so that makes you kind of have more indecision and you swing and you end up chasing more pitches. Devin's fastball's not what it was. He's 93, 94. I mean, it's plenty of heater, but it's not 97, 98. So I think that's another big factor. But I would say for contact, I'd rather have Williams change up overall. Just the more total movement. It's going to be really hard. And I know he's given up damage this year, which is bizarre. But you go look at the career numbers. They're stellar. Oh no, my son had an accident on the floor in my office somewhere. I didn't see it. Damn. Oh God. All right, so that was a little bit of what we saw there. Another topic I wanted to look at was Matt Shaw versus the Brewers last night. Now there was a very, very fun matchup. Cubs Brew Crew last night. Cubs Milwaukee. All right, so Matt Shaw. This was just a crazy inning in the third versus Mizorowski. So Mizorowski started this game. Ew, right near the rug. I think I see it. It's all right though. I don't mind. We got napkins. We got cleaning supplies. All right, so in this third inning, we got a walk of Owen Cassie. Mizorowski gets himself in trouble, basically. And this is how this guy's going to lose sometimes. It's just he'll get himself in trouble. Teams will play 4 before 3 against him, and they'll try to walk. So he walks Cassie, and then he starts losing it a little bit. He walks Dansby on 4 pitches. Then he's going to walk Matt Shaw. Now, this is an 11-pitch walk, so we're going to watch it. Because this was a huge moment in the game. He actually gets sent up there to bunt. So let's watch this at-bat and break it down. First pitch, 100 mile an hour. Almost breaks his freaking hand as this ball just rides right at him. Oh my God. That's either going to hit wood or maybe face. So imagine having to bunt that, and then then they give you the bunt sign again after that. You're like, all right, dude. This time they take the bunt off and another pitch that rides up and in. Those are just about 2 of the most unsettling pitches you can face right on right. 99, 100 miles an hour, starts on the plate and runs up towards your fist. And you're a guy who likes to dive. Like Matt Shaw's move, his initial move, he goes from open, and then he wants to dive in there. You see the energy swinging in towards the plate, but then this ball brushes him off. So there's the 1-1 count after this ball. Inside. And let's see how this goes for the third pitch. Here comes a 97 mile an hour slider. Bunt sign's back on, and actually a pretty good take. Shows the bunt really late here, which I like. And Mizorowski throws a 97 mile an hour slider. What are the metrics on this? 7.3 vert, 1.4 horizontal. So that's basically a cutter, but whatever. 97 mile an hour, anything but fastball is just unusual. But a good take. Spits on it right off the corner. 2-1 count. Bunt's still on. Comes another heater. Top of the zone. Very hard pitch to bunt. And this ball has so much ride up. Again. Almost harder to bunt than hit off this guy, probably. All right, so 2-2. Now Mizorowski's going into strikeout mode. We all know how good he is at that. First attempt's going to be a banger of a curveball.
Split second to make that decision.
Good fight by Shaw. Dribbles it foul. And he goes into a really good compete mode. And, you know, since these guys been back up from the minor leagues, he's shown a really high level of compete. Here's another fastball that's a screaming heater. And, you know, after that last curveball, you might get a swing on this. But a really good take. That's a yes, 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 no take. And he gets him to 3-2. All right, going back to his supersonic slider. Down middle, great pass at it. Gets under it, hits it foul. Earns himself another pitch. This pitch is going to be about 101. Up in. Great pitch by Mizorowski. Another almost impossible pitch to hit. But Shaw is able to turn and get to it just enough to hit it foul. I mean, you're talking 7-6 of extension at 101, so this ball feels like about 103, 104. Great job fouling this off. Gets himself to pitch number 9. It's gonna be a slider, 96.5. This was a good one. Again, though, fouling it off. Big level of compete. We're in battle mode. Mizorowski's gonna double up on the slider. Even better one, another foul ball. This was a heck of a battle. And that finally gets him to pitch number 11.
What a bat. And Shaw.
Curveball.
And another 3-2.
And Shaw's going to draw the walk. So gets himself down 1-2 in this count versus one of the best strikeout pitchers in the world at the moment. Started off in a bunt situation, ends up drawing a really crucial walk, and gets another 11 pitches. Gets another 11 pitches out of Mizorowski, and that led to the moment that they eventually break Mizorowski, which is this Michael Busch double.
Here it comes. Line drive,
beautiful swing, stayed short.
Center field.
Went the other way, right in that gap.
In to score is Casey.
Dansby's doing the wheeling everybody around. Bases clearing double. And I really feel like that walk by Shaw was a big unlock in this inning. You know, walk, walk. It's not really a lot of momentum, sometimes gained by walk, walk. And then they go to do the sack bunt, play a little small ball, but he ends up grinding his way to a walk. And it pays off because Michael Busch, who's been quietly excellent this year, does a good job taking that ball where it's pitched. So that's way number 1 that Shaw impacted the game. Way number 2 is later in the game. He clips a dinger off of Koenig. So let's watch this at bat.
Love you.
Lefty with electric stuff. Change up down ball. Here comes the sinker. 94-3. Hey, Arch. All over that. So he's going to pull off the rare feat of the foul home run and the real home run in the same game. The same at bat, I should say. You don't usually hit a foul home run and then a real home run. Especially after this is a nice backdoor curveball to get Koenig to 1-2. He's going to go to the changeup. And Shaw goes down and gets it below the zone. Swats it into left. Just took over this game. 100-mile-an-hour exit velo, 33-degree launch angle. So he does it with a grindy at bat. He shows his pop here, gives them a little breathing room, and they needed it. And then also defensively, there was a heck of a play made here too. See if I can find it. Heck of a play here. It was a bunt. Let me see here. Yeah, here it is. Watch this play as well. So Shaw's doing it on offense, also doing it on defense. Woo. Hell of a play. Got to give credit for Busch on the pick as well. But his throw was tough. He got this ball going away. We're a little too late to get the replay. But if you watch the angle at which he fields this, first of all, where is he on the high home? He's pinched over a little bit, so he's got a long way to go for this ball. Oh, excellent anticipation. Oh, beautiful. Knowing where the bunt's going to go. Before this, as soon as the batter shows bunt, he's already moving. Hold on. What's up, baby? Who? Is that Mama over there? You cleaned it up?
Yes.
Can I have a high five? I love you. You're the best. All right, I got to break down this play though, bro. So you can see here where this is actually super cool. The ball's on the way to the plate, and if you watch Shaw over here, he's already moving. He's moving, already anticipating where this ball is gonna go, and that's what allows him to make this play. He knows the bunt's gonna go down the line. He didn't fall asleep here in this situation, and he attacks this ball incredibly well, fields it going away, and still able to get enough on the throw. Good pick by Busch. So Shaw did it all. He's looked really, really good since he came back up from the minors. You know, he was given the job on opening day. I kind of scuffled, big prospect for the Cubs, but I like the way he's played lately, and hopefully he can, be a little spark for this team. Because they've needed one really badly, especially with this Tucker situation and how far they've fallen behind the Brewers, but they win 3 in a row versus their division rivals. And Matt Shaw, I just want to highlight him. Hell of a game by him. He can't round that ball. Odd route because of that with his momentum going in first. So yeah, odd route. So the throw, the throwing power took a lot. I'm just curious. And you know what? We can look it up. What kind of arm does Matt Shaw have? Not great. So only 81.7 on the average, 32nd percentile arm speed. But he is pretty fast, and the anticipation and the speed allowed him to get to that ball and make that play. So credit to him. Not having a great rookie year. Playing a lot better lately, but not having a great rookie year. But you know what? He contributed huge to a big win, and so sometimes it's good to acknowledge that. All right, so that's topic number 2. About halfway through the show, if we go full length. Now I want to watch a little bit of Shohei versus the Rockies. I know he gets nailed with a liner, and he comes out. Yeah, a lot of talk about peddling Shaw at the deadline. You know, everybody always wants to jump ship on the young guys, you know, when they have a small sample and they struggle at the beginning. It's like most guys do struggle. Mike Trout struggled at that first year, you know, and then some guys figure it out. You got to really know your own guys. You know, like Brett Beatty is looking unbelievable right now in this moment for the Mets. I know he's been a little streaky, but he's showing some real talent right now. And there's guys, a lot of Mets fans that wanted to never see him again. And he's got the prospect pedigree. He's not old, so you know sometimes with these guys, you got to trust them a little bit. All right, so Rock Show and the Doyers, Los Doyers from 20th and Blake in Denver, Colorado. This guy Tanner Gordon actually threw a heck of a game versus the Dodgers. But what I wanted to watch a little bit is I saw Ohtani got beat a little bit in this game. I want to see what happened. Strikeout, line out, ground out. So 3 up, 3 down in the first. Single, ground out, single, double. Let's see this Brenton Doyle double. It's going to be on the sweeper. I saw a quote from Ohtani.
Doyle pulls this to the left field corner. It's going to drop.
He didn't hit it very hard, but just get it in the outfield and course. You'll be rewarded. There's too much space, bro. Let's go to the high home. I mean, you can see in course. First of all, this is just insane to look at. Look how big the outfield is. Oh my God, it's too much square footage. It's by far the most. Trivia question for the chat: What field has the second most square footage in the playing area? I think this is a pretty good trivia. Don't do this to me. I'm gonna have to reload it. Anyway, who has the second most square footage? Any ideas? Because I know it. And it's a little surprising, maybe. Okay, back to the Rock Show and the Doyers. So that was the big hit that started the run scoring. Was that Doyle double? What else got him? There's a warming, what a name. Warming Bernabel. Let's see what this hit was. This was a sinker.
Everyone in hits among that rookie class. This ball is
another ball down the line. Good swing. Bernabel's been pretty good for the Rock Show. The answer is Kansas City. Kansas City's outfield is massive. And I think if you go look at their like stadium metrics, I think that's why they have a lot of hits. It's a really good place for batting average because there's a lot of space in the outfield, but it's also deep enough to take away homers. Scott, you'd redesign cores. What would be your thought process? Move the fence in and higher, change the gaps. What are we thinking here? I have some thoughts as well. Then we got a Brenton Doyle single. And another sweeper, only 10 inches of break. So, yeah, I was going to go look at that quote really quick from Shohei because he said something about his pitch movement at Coors, and he said it's not an excuse, but it's just funny to see other people, you know, finally acknowledging it, acknowledging the reality that your pitches are going to be a little shorter. Shohei, here is the quote. Very regrettable. I put the team in a bad spot. It was just a very regrettable outing. I wish I could have done better. I was aware in my bullpen session that the ball doesn't move quite as much as it does at normal sea level. But again, that's not an excuse. So he definitely struggled without his pitches moving the way he expected. This is one of the tricky parts about pitching at Coors. You're just not going to have the same stuff as you have on the road. And then Arcia gets him here. That's weird. There must be a pitch missing. But that was kind of it because I believe Shohei gets nailed here. Is this the pitch he gets nailed on? No. Where's the pitch he gets nailed on? Oh, here it is. Why are they not showing it? How is it not on the iPad? Shohei gets nailed with a line drive. I want to watch it. What is this? I'm so confused. What the He got nailed with a line drive in this game, and they're not letting me see it. That sucks. Anyway, he got hurt. He's got a contusion, leg contusion. So we'll see how that affects him. You know, moving forward. Yeah, right thigh. Such a bummer. I really wanted to watch that. So this is the first time that the old iPad has let me down. Sorry, guys. Can't watch Ohtani get nailed with a line drive, which I mean, I don't like to see anybody get hurt, but it was kind of funny sometimes because he just seems so invincible. All right, so make square footage. Yeah, Kyle, there's a blooper show. What a joke. All right, make square footage league average. Comp for the carry wall height. I don't know about. I definitely think I would like to have. I think I would like to cut down on the square footage as well. That's one of my thoughts. Make the walls higher. You'd see a lot of doubles, but I think guys would be able to. There'd be less bloopers, and the bloopers is one of the things that really makes cores so crazy. I think we've looked at this before, but let's go to Statcast Park Factors. And if you go by just hits, you can see what I was talking about a little bit with Kaufman. Kansas City, 4th best for hits in the big leagues. Chase Field, Fenway. I guess that's because you can hit a pop-up to left and it can hit off the monster, and then obviously Coors. But that's why Kansas City, because otherwise it wouldn't make much sense. It's the square footage. It's also a 185. It's also 3rd best for triples, 5th best for doubles, and actually only 10th best for singles. But really, in general, very, very good for hits. Just not good for homers. Like if you go to homers, it's one of the bottom ones. Yeah, 3rd worst for homers. So that's why Kaufman's an interesting one. But there's nothing like there's nothing like Coors Field with the 112 park factor this year. Man, what a joke. All right. We got anything else in the chat? Anybody else want to have me look at anything before we wrap it up for today? Kind of a short show. I didn't want to watch too much Yankee stuff because I covered a lot of that yesterday on Yes Network, and I don't know, it was a good game, but not too much to learn. I did think Schlittler did a better job throwing his fastball down in the zone, and instead of just spamming it at the top, it set up, I think, some better things for himself. Also, fastball curveball approach as opposed to throwing everything hard all the time. He utilized speed differential with his curveball. Thought that was a big key. Stanton is super locked in. If I was a Red Sox pitcher, I'd be aware of that right now. Stanton might be a no-fly zone at the moment. He is that locked in at the plate. Judge looks great again. So this is going to be a good series. Definitely excited to watch the day game. I think the Saturday game is Crochet. Crochet had such a good start versus the Yankees the last time. He'll be up for the challenge at Yankee Stadium. Day game. Hostile environment versus a good lineup right now that's clicking. So I'm very curious about that one. All right, do I have anything else written down here? Yeah, Dodger Stadium's crazy for homers. Yeah, good call, Mitch. They're number 1 for homers. But I think a lot of that is just like there's no deep part of the park. Like there's no like shallow part necessarily, but there's no deep part. The gaps are relatively short. I also think it helps that they have so much power in their lineup that might skew that number a little bit. I don't think that's historically the case at all. Like if we go back to like when I was a young player, so like 2012, for example, Dodger Stadium was way down on the list. It was 23rd in hitting. And by home runs, they were 10th worst place in the league to hit homers. If you go back to like 2012, let's see 2013. Dodgers still 23rd best hitting. Something's changed along the way. Dodgers 20th best hitting park in 2014, 2015. This is why I think the players that you have in your team start to affect it. Dodgers 22nd best in 2015, so still hasn't changed. 25th in 2016. I bet it's going to start changing now. 2017. Dodgers was 28th in the big leagues. Wow. That's crazy. Dodgers 25th in 2018, 2019. When's it going to change? This is crazy. Still 23rd. Although you can see the home runs are starting to, if we look by home runs, now it's the 8th best by 2019. 2020 by home runs, 2nd best. You're right. I was messing that up. I was going overall. So let me go back again. Back to like 2015 by homers. Where's Dodger Stadium? Yeah, it's 10th best. So it's always been a bit of a homer park. I think it does because it's low square footage in the outfield. I think it takes away other types of hits, driving down its overall park factor. But yeah, it felt like more of a graveyard when I first came up. 11th best in 2014. 2013, let's look again for home runs. This one, yeah, it really started to fall back. This was 19th best. So something changed right around 2014, 2015 that has now shot up Dodger Stadium in the recent years. Like if we look at 2022, they're number 2, 126. And then 2023, so it just kept escalating. 2023, number 2 again. 2024, number 2 again. And then this year, like we said, number 1 this year. So it's the marine layer might have disappeared. You know, honestly, San Diego as well. When I first got into the NL West, couldn't hit anything out in San Diego either. I know they moved the fences in a little bit, but now it feels like it really flies, especially to left field, especially in a day game. You see a lot of balls out to center. So those are 2 places that the marine layer was always blamed, you know, for balls not going out at night. San Diego, LA, both LAs. That was definitely always blamed as a factor, but I don't know if you can say that anymore. You know, I don't know. I don't know what you can say anymore. It's totally flipped. Somewhere around 2014, 2015, Dodger Stadium became a home run hitting park, and it never really let up. How do I check the road team? Is there a way to do that? I mean, I guess this counts for everything. I don't know how do I sort by just road team? Is there a way? I don't know. Ooh, click a name for an advanced breakdown. Oh, condition filter. Oh, day, night, roof flows, open air. Nothing there. Nah, nothing. But I do like the fact that I can click on an actual stadium and see what's going on. Yeah, I should have done this from the beginning. So this is individual years. By home runs, you can see it's really been pretty spicy every year since 2014. 2016 was below average, but then before that, had a bunch of years of it being a graveyard. 07 all the way through 2013, kind of a graveyard. So it's interesting to see how that can ebb and flow. Let's look at Petco. Let's look at San Diego. San Diego. Wales. Vijay. Okay. San Diego. Home runs. I mean, basically a graveyard for its whole existence, but somehow in 2024 it wasn't. 2020 it wasn't. 2015 it wasn't. So, again, these are a little interesting. I don't know what to make of all of this. Triples, like there used to be triples here. I guess that was when the fence was deeper in right center, and now that's gone. The triples have basically disappeared. Really, dimensions really make a big difference, man. They really do. It's crazy. Let's go look at cores. This is fun. Oof! Unbelievable. Unreal. Look at that. It's never been a good place. But what was the worst? What was the worst overall year? This would be for runs. 2014, yeah. We gave up a lot of runs that year. 1999, a 149. Holy cow. That's insane. Do they have the old course? They have Rockies? No, they don't have Rockies Mile High. That would have been fun. It's like a Yankee Stadium. Because I always felt like this was a good place to hit, too. Yeah, for homers. For homers, it is. That's about it. I don't know. I always felt like it was good for me to accept the challenge of some of these hitters parks. Finally did get to play in a pitcher's park my last few years, which is the Metro's Citi Field. Undeniable pitcher's park. Above average only in like walks, home runs a little bit, but I don't know, not much. For the most part, below average. It's really, really good at compressing hits. A lot of strikeouts at Citi Field. I think that's from the wind. Yeah, so that's Citi Field. All right, we want to look at Seattle. So what's Seattle? That's the Mariners, T-Mobile Park. Yeah, strikeouts way above average every year of its existence. People have said they've had a hard time seeing early in the game there with the glare off the batter's eye, so that could be a factor. It's kind of a hidden factor that maybe people wouldn't think about. Home runs, this is a great place to pitch. You know, another weird one is San Francisco. San Francisco, I think, was the #1 place to pitch really my whole career. And recently, though, there's been more homers. Yeah, a little more. Like it got to 97th percentile in 2020 and in the 80s. But you look at some of these years, 57 in 2012, 65, and that's the year they won the World Series with 57 home run park factor. Runs in general, below average, hard to come by. Great place to pitch. Of course, you go back and look at 2004, Barry Bonds' time, and it kind of changed a little bit. The Seattle batter's eye, is that what we're talking about? Something's up with Seattle. I don't know what it is. But something's definitely up. Ooh, environmental park factors. So they have some of that too. I bet that's from it just being freaking cold there in the middle of the summer in San Fran. There's so much to look at here. Very, very cool. Wonder if Baseball Reference wanted to update itself today so we can see if there's any... They still haven't done any top performers, so really nothing to see there. I don't know that they want to fix it. I think Seattle wants to be built on pitching, ultimately, but then they should build their offense accordingly. If you're going to be playing low-scoring games, maybe a small ball offense. I don't know. They got Geno Suarez. They got Naylor. That's a little more offense for them. That's why I've been high on them. But they got smoked by the Phillies in that series. So they got to get home and they got to get right. I don't think I'm going to include them tomorrow in my top 5 anymore. I think they're starting to show some cracks. I don't think they're my American League favorite at the moment. I've been flip-flopping a lot, but that's because there's no clear favorite this year. Yeah, Target Field's a little slanted as well. But that's another Crackerjack Park. It's actually funny how that one might have flipped over time a little bit. Because I know that like a lot of those Twins guys that had been in the Metrodome, when they went to this ballpark, they were not happy about it. When they went to Target Field, they felt like it was a graveyard. But I don't know. I feel like it plays pretty fair overall. Let's see. Home runs, had some good years, had some bad years. Nothing really that consistent. I ate a paper plate today, Adam. Good for you, man. That's kind of gross. Yeah, but there's been homers there lately. Actually, environmentally, the ball's been carrying there a little bit better the last few years. So I don't know. Hitters love to complain about this. This is such a popular clubhouse topic. Oh my God, we play in such a graveyard. Or oh my God, it's such a crackerjack box. Like one way or another, the pitchers are going to be upset. The hitters are going to be upset. It's just like, stop being a bunch of babies and just deal with it. That's the way I always looked at it. I kind of like the challenge of playing in a hitter's park. In a way, it'll kind of help your WAR. I never got to 15 career WAR if I didn't play in cores, so I'll take that. But all right, let's do the probables. Thursday coming up. We got Thursday games today. So let's see who's playing. We got Perkins and Urania, Athletics at Twins. Corbin and Lorenzen. They finished out their series. Royals looking to keep trucking with biceps man on the mound, Mr. Michael Lorenzen. Brewers and Cubs still playing. Who knew? Cubs have won the last 3, so they can make it 4 in a row. Priester and Shota, so they got a good shot here. Shota Imanaga, that's the guy you want on the mound. Kershaw at Coors versus Dolander. I'm curious about Kershaw's career numbers at Coors. Can we look into that for a sec? That'd be fun. As great as he is, I bet he's got a 4 ERA. He's got to at Coors. Let's see. Splits, career, and we'll go down to by venue. Ballparks, game level. ERA, Coors Field down here. Yep, 28 starts at Coors. 13-8 with a 4.53. So really pretty good for Coors Field. Still a 1.269 WHIP. So he's been good, but it's way off his pace. It's his 4th worst ballpark and the worst ballpark he has with more than 20 starts. Arizona and Coors, interestingly enough, have been the 2 tough spots for him, which makes sense. Makes sense. He is unreal in San Fran. 197 innings with a 1.69 in his career. You shitting me? What a dog. Yeah, I think the curveball is impacted a little bit. It's also just, again, the BABIP. Everything falls in. All right, so back to the probables. Kershaw at Coors. So he wins there, but he also is slightly vulnerable. Big game today for the Mets. Manaea on the mound. They need him. Going up against Mackenzie Gore. They can't afford to lose this series. They need to win this series. So big game today for the Metros in D.C. Verlander and Dylan Cease. So 2 four-seam dudes. Actually kind of similar profiles. San Fran and San Diego. This would be a nice game to be at, actually. Nice day in San Diego, 4 o'clock game. Brandon Young coming off almost a perfect game. Faces the same team again, Houston. So see how that goes. First game of the big series, Sox, Yanks. General Gio, Lucas Gio on the mound, and Luis Gil, 3rd start of the season for him. So here we go, Yankees Red Sox with some meaning behind it tonight. Sonny Gray, Joe Boyle is the last game from Steinbrenner Field. So Cards were just in Miami. They go up the west coast of Florida to Tampa, and they play the Rays. So that's it for today. Big games for Mets, Yankees. Kershaw at home. Can Imanaga get the Cubs back to 5 games? That is the big question. So that's it for today. Thanks for hanging with me and helping me with looking at some things. The ballpark stuff was interesting. I'd like to dive into that a little bit more. Thinking about making a video on third base coaches. Been a tough go for third base coaches this year. 2 have already been fired. The Red Sox third base coach is under fire a little bit now for a hold and a non-send the other night that maybe cost the Sox the game. But I don't know. Tough job. Really tough job. A lot that goes into it. So maybe we'll get into that at some point. But thanks for hanging with me. And I'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow, Friday? Yeah, Friday, 10:30 MLB stream. So catch me over there. All right. Adios. Peace. I'm going to go golf.